And the Florida cycling lawyer helping fellow cyclists. Welcome to our live cast today. If I want to welcome everyone who's here online or those who may be watching this later recorded. Today I want to talk about and give you the one question that you should take to your bike shop to give you the very best chance of having your bike frame replaced if you've been involved in a crash, yet there's no physical evidence of injury to the frame. You'd be surprised the number of people who call our office who've been involved in some type of a crash, whether they hit a vehicle or some fixed object. The bike took a direct hit, but there's no visible evidence to the frame, and they feel uncomfortable about riding it, but they're getting resistance on whether they can have their frame replaced. So we all know that carbon is a different material, and it can damage beneath the surface. You can have cracks beneath the surface that aren't always visible. It's designed to withstand a great deal of pressure in the areas where the carbon is designed to take pressure, but when you get forces applied from a different direction, you can have cracks. And it's recognized in the industry, and most people would agree that carbon frames that are cracked aren't safe to ride and should be replaced. The issue is that you're dealing most likely with a claims adjuster who isn't really familiar with carbon. And if they are, they don't handle exclusively bike cases, they handle automobile cases. Occasionally they'll get a bike case, and typically they'll have a claim where the bike frame has been totally crushed or cracked or broken, and it's an easy call. It can't be repaired, and they go about replacing the frame. They need justification to write a check to you, whether it's $10 or $10,000. So the question is, how do we give them that justification, particularly where there's no visible evidence to your carbon frame? So what I suggest is that you take the bike to the bike shop, especially one where you have a relationship, explain the mechanics of your crash. You're doing 18 miles an hour, a car pulled out in front of you, you had a direct hit on the passenger or the driver's door. Car hit the ground. Fortunately, hopefully, you weren't injured. You've had an inspection of the bike. Miraculously, it looks like there's no visible evidence of damage, but you're really uncomfortable about the whole situation, whether it's continued to be safe. So ask this one question of the shop owner or the person in charge there. If this was your bike or the bike of someone that you loved and knew personally, would you consider it safe to ride given the mechanics of the injury or the crash that I've described? Or would you recommend that the frame should be replaced because it's unsafe to ride? I think you'll find more likely than not, most shops will agree that the frame should be replaced. Now, what you need to do is get that information in the form that the claims adjuster can use it and have access to it so that they can use it as a reason and justification in their file to issue a check to you for the replacement of your frame, whether it's $3,000 or $10,000. So simply ask the shop to put their reasoning on their letterhead. So identify the frame, identify the cost, explain that the bike was involved in an impact with a vehicle or the ground or whatever the circumstances were, and then have them state in their opinion that the frame should be replaced because it is unsafe to ride a carbon frame that has had an impact, even if there's no visible evidence of damage to the bike. You now have the justification that the claims adjuster will need to write you that check. I've got a free resource for you that I'd like to make available. It's repairing or replacing your bicycle after a crash. It's two-sided, and it really has a lot of the scenarios that we've encountered, different types of situations, different types of coverages that can occur when a bike frame gets damaged. Simply go to bit.ly/replace my frame, and you'll have a download for this free report. That's really what we have for today. If you don't have any questions, nobody's put a question on the line, I'd be happy to. Next time we do one of these, if you submit your question, we'll be happy to answer every one of them. If there are no questions, then I hope this information is helpful. I hope you don't need it, but if you do need it, it can make a huge difference to you financially to know exactly what to do when you get to the shop. If not, that's it for the Florida Bike Guy. Be safe out there. If I can ever help you, let me know. So long.